Arabian horse.
And Katie, which is my hair.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, so the history of the Arabian horse. They're one of the oldest breeds, and they originated in the Egyptian desert. And they have been found in history about 2,000 to 3,000 million years ago in North America and the Middle East areas. Because they lived in the harsh environments, they are just extremely well bred to tolerate the environments. And there are stories that Allah created the Arabian breed. And Poseidon, pretty cool stuff. Probably not going to pronounce this right, but the Bedouin culture, they were a bunch of tribes in Egypt, and they were really responsible for basically just, I don't know what I want to say. The Arabians. They basically just had Arabians, and they used them for war, and battles were really, really common for them in between tribes. And because they did live in the desert, they had to live in extreme conditions. And they're able to live off of small rations, little water, and they're very, very hardy.
So this is the greatest influence, the Arabian breed. It's the Crabbit Park Stud. In the 19th century, Lady Anne Blunt and her husband, they went to the Middle East to search of the farm, like a stock, to bring them back. They kept the true, how'd you pronounce it?
It's called aslai, and that just means purity.
Yeah, the purity.
In Arabic.
And then what horsemen are impressed with, and it seems like the American breeders imported them, so they just keep on with the bloodline because they're so pure.
The Crabbit Stud Park is not, it's not one specific stallion, it's just a whole farm of stallions, and it's called the Crabbit Line. And the most famous was, I'm going to butcher this too, Skowronek, and he was Polish, he wasn't actually Egyptian, and he was brought over by the daughter. He was white, a terrific mover, and his son, Raffles, actually started his own lineage in America. And he was important because he was a little bit bigger, whereas a lot of the Egyptian Arabs are smaller, thinner boned. He's considered the super horse, and that's pretty much it.
For breed regulations, it varies by pedigree. The dam has to be registered with the AHI, and they're all transfer of ownerships must be recorded. The sire is also registered, and all shipments of semen are registered, and the AHA receive the stallion's report for the year the horse was conceived.
And AHA just means Arabian Horse Association. So these are different Arabians doing different things. Disciplines, everybody knows they're really, really good in endurance because they do have well-sprung ribs. They do have a little bit bigger lungs, so they can get that capacity to breathe and go longer distances. Arab racing is really, really big in the Middle East, way bigger than thoroughbred racing in America. They're used for sport horses, reining, hunting, hunters, jumpers, really good for equitation, Western pleasure, and driving. And you can't really see that, but I think all of the horses that competed in the WAG for endurance were Arabs. There might have been like one or two that weren't, but they were all. Okay, this is an example of a halter class car that a judge would have in a halter class, which I think when most people think of Arabs, they think of halter class. And it just goes from 10 to 20 possible points, and they're judged on the head, neck and shoulder, body and top line, feet and legs, and movement, and then a perfect score would be 360. And you would have multiple judges at a bigger show. So, and then this is means for penalization or just leaving a class for a halter class. Poor manners, excessive amounts of oil, grease, or other substances. Any changing of the color or the natural color of the mane or tail, whip marks, removal of eyelashes. Any of this can be means of exclusion from the class.
General rules for when showing. The jeweled headbands or metal are not allowed. They must be controlled at all times, and safety hazards will be removed. Okay. No excess whip or use of hair dye is allowed, and if a stallion is castrated, the science document by the vet is needed to report it to the AHA.
So the ideal Arabian, you want fine bone structured, but you still want a powerful mover. You want a wedge-shaped head, big eyes set far apart, large nostrils so they can breathe, and fine nose. You want a high tail carriage, and it's pronounced jabah, I think, and that's basically when the Arabs get that like bubble at the top of their head, and that's for increased nasal flow. And then USEF, United States Equestrian Foundation, says that the Arab needs to be between 14.1 hands and 15.1. Great density of the bone and best suited for endurance, but thrives in all competition activities.
So this is kind of like one of his things. He wanted us to put what they kind of want. Their eyes, they want them to be high and wide, their ears small, and their muzzles fine and concave. Their bodies need to be roomy. Their legs are like cleanly shaped with well-defined tendons. They have the short, deep chest, the long, sloping shoulder, well-muscular forearm. Their tail is high set, and their hips are square. They have really well-defined withers.
And then influences in the ideal. I interviewed my trainer Meredith Gary. She's been in the horse industry since 1943, so it's like 60-some years. And then in the Arab industry since 1980, she is a registered judge, and her expertise lies more in side-saddle carriage driving. So according to her, the Arab breed has changed significantly in the last 20 years. You want Arabs to be a little bit bigger because when they came to America, they couldn't really support bigger American people, so not like we're totally obese, but the Egyptians weren't well suited, so we did go more towards the Polish and Russian Arabs that are bigger. We wanted a longer, hookier neck, but you still wanted to maintain, you know, the sturdy body with the pretty face. And the horse to the left, the gray Gatsby CC, that is an Egyptian, and Nagatras, I believe, that is a Polish Arab. So you can see Nagatras is a little bit bigger, and he does have a bit of a longer neck. It's a little thicker, but it is a little bit longer. Bringing home the blues. This is Basque. This is a purebred Arab. This is probably one of my favorite Arabs. He actually started as a racehorse in Poland and was imported. Whenever you see the little star in front of an Arab name, that means they've been imported. And he sired over 1,000 foals and grand-sired over 32,000 foals. And he's probably most notable because he was the first of his breed to win both a national championship in a halter class and a performance class. And you can see all his wins. This is Armani FC. Armani's still alive today. I think he's actually from Ohio. He's a pretty big winner also. And then others to note, Foration, which is this one up here. He doesn't really look, but he is in fact purebred, and he is the first of his breed to win multiple national championships in halter performance. He's more sport horse though. 3 Desperado, find it. He's straight Egyptian, U.S. Reserve champion, and grand champion unanimously in Scottsdale. This is Alliance, and he's also from Ohio. He has multiple championships, and Shogun PGN is a little under pony that also has national championships.
A few of the major faults they have, because their face is so dished, they tend to have eye problems, and all competition horses need to see. They lack or are missing the lacrimal nasal duct due to the dish face and the problem of getting rid. So they have a problem of getting rid of tears, and they're prone to the coon foot. And most stallions breed for performance, so the conformation traits are often overlooked, and it causes concussion in the legs.
And then this is just the numbers of Arabs in different countries registered. So it's up there. And then we can watch one video, I think we have time.
Hey, Kelly.
Yeah.
You're already over 10 minutes.
Okay, never mind.
I thought we had 12.